Hello, I'm Wade Girard, owner and creator of Middletwin, software for car clubs and car shows. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Middletwin to set up your event to sell spaces at the event. So for like if you want to do a swap meet and sell swap spaces, or if you want to have vendor spaces, maybe to sell for food vendors, it's pretty easy with Middletwin, and I'll show you how. I have an event set up already. I'm gonna go over to my events, go to events. I'm going to pick the event that I have set up, and I'm going to go to the venue location. So now in here this is where I'll set up a venue map. And so you can add a background image if you want. It makes it a lot easier to set it up if you have it. And so I used Google Maps to find the location where I want to have it sell these spaces for. And I'm going to use this as the backdrop, and this will be visible to anyone purchasing a space. I'll start out by adding a box. You can add boxes or circles. And so here's my initial space. And you can see when I open it up, it shows me information about it, including its position, rotation, and size, and then also settings for the space itself. So I'm going to start out by resizing this space. I know that I want them to be 40 pixels wide. So I'll set it to 40, and I can just type in the numbers and it automatically updates for me. And I want them to be 16 pixels tall. And now I can move it around by adjusting the positioning here, or I can just click on the space and drag and drop it around. So I'm just going to do that. It's easier. And then with the space selected, you can then define your spaces by row and number. So I'm going to have my first row of spaces here be called row A, and the first space will be space number 1. And we're going to sell this space for $25, and I'll add in some notes. That the space is 15 feet by 40 feet. And then it is available for purchase. You can set up spaces that are not available for purchase if you want, just to kind of indicate things on a map. And then once that's done, now if I want to add more spaces to this row, so I want to fill out the entire row to be above that space that I've created, the easiest way to do that is to just say copy selected. I know I'm going to want 34 more spaces above the current one, and I'm going to click make copies, and the system just automatically generates all those spaces for me. So my first row, row A, is complete. And now if I want to do another row next to it over here, I can just select my first space, do copy selected, say that I want one space. I'm going to make it to the right, make copies, and so now that created a new space. You'll see that the space is A2, so it took the letter of the row and used it, but it incremented the number by 1. I'm going to change this to be row B, space 1, and again I'm going to do copy selected. I'm going to create another 34 spaces above the currently selected one, and the system just generates it for me. And so I can quickly create a map of several spaces just by following this same routine, and just continuing to copy more spaces, and it'll just place them for me. I'll call this row C, again space number 1, and again copy selected, make 34 of them above, make copies. And so I can just keep doing this and fill out the entire field with all the spaces I need. And I'm going to go ahead and save this now at this point. It's not automatically saved, so you have to save when appropriate. And now I'll show you what it looks like for somebody who wants to purchase one of these spaces. They can come over here, and they'll be able to see all the spaces on a map. I'm just going to reload this because it was filled out from before. They'll be able to see all the spaces that are available on the venue map. And if they select one of the spaces, you'll see it'll get highlighted red. It'll show the space, which is A1, has the note that I put in there, the amount, and they can just keep selecting and adding multiple spaces. So say I'm a swapper and I want to have these 3 spaces, I can do that. It updates the total for me to $75. And at this point I can click next and complete the purchase and purchase these spaces. And so it's pretty easy to use for a vendor to go ahead and buy spaces online. And after they purchase it, a notification email will be sent to an email address that you indicate as being the manager for the swap, and then or for the event spaces. And then they'll also get a confirmation email, which you can set up a template for, letting them know that they're confirmed in their space numbers. Now going back over here to the map, I can also, like say before the show, I know that some vendors want some specific spots. I can select a space that I want to, basically reserve that space for a vendor, and I can click on reserve space, and it'll remember any vendors that I've put in there before. But if I and so I can select one of them and say save the reservation. And now you'll see if I do shade reserved spaces, that space is now shaded. Plus over here, if I'm somebody coming in and I want to buy a spot, again, I'll come in, that spot will be grayed out. So I can't select that one, but I can, select other ones around it. And so it's pretty convenient that way. Plus, once everything's been, once you've done having online purchase of these spaces, you can export the reservation list, and that'll give you a CSV export of all the people that have purchased spaces, along with all the spaces that they purchased, that you can use that. I'll show you what that looks like. They'll be able to use this at the event so that you know when checking in people which spaces they get. And so you'll be able to see their information and the spaces that they have reserved. So it's pretty user-friendly, a nice easy way to set up and sell swap spaces and vendor spaces at events. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you need a demo of this in person. We can set that up. So thank you. Bye.